The 1970s TV series Land of the Lost is about the Marshall family who end up in a strange world with dinosaurs and weird creatures. This show was mostly for kids, but people of all ages liked watching it because it was a mix of science fiction and adventure. There are many interesting and funny things about this show that many people don't know. From what happened during filming to the way it influenced its viewers, there's a lot to learn. Did you ever watch this show and have a special memory of it? Maybe there's one episode you can't forget or a time when watching it meant a lot to you. Feel free to share your stories or memories in the comments. Hearing from you helps show why this show was so special and keeps the excitement around it alive. Let's find out more about the less-known parts of this beloved series. Your stories help highlight why people still enjoy Land of the Lost, and we're excited to hear them. Land of the Lost, a television series from the 1970s, presents a curious blend of science fiction elements and budgetary constraints, much like the mixed reception of pop bands such as ABBA. The show features commendable writing, particularly in its early episodes, contributed by some of the era's most notable science fiction writers. However, the production values did not match the ambition of the script, with a noticeable lack of funding that often resulted in a less polished visual presentation. This discrepancy between the writing and production quality is a hallmark of the era's Saturday morning television, a time when networks were more focused on mainstream hits like Love Boat. The series follows a family, a widowed father, Rick, and his two children, Will and Holly, as they navigate a pocket universe filled with dinosaurs, advanced technology, and pre-Neanderthal humanoids. This setting, reminiscent of H.G. Wells' imaginative worlds, offers a rich background for storytelling. Despite the limitations in production quality, which might be more apparent to modern viewers, the show's narrative creativity stands out. The inclusion of dinosaurs and a variety of visitors to this unique world, coupled with the family's ongoing struggles to find a way home, makes for engaging viewing. Notably, several episodes were penned by writers who had previously contributed to Star Trek, such as Walter Koenig and D.C. Fontana. Koenig's episode, The Stranger, exemplifies the quality storytelling that the series occasionally reached. This blend of imaginative storytelling and connections to broader science fiction writing showcases the series' potential, suggesting that a modern adaptation with enhanced effects could further elevate the material. However, such an adaptation would need to avoid oversimplifying the narrative to maintain the original's charm. In summary, Land of the Lost stands as a unique piece of television history, marked by its creative stories and the contrast between its ambitious writing and the constraints of its production. Its legacy, tied to both its sci-fi elements and its place in the landscape of 1970s television, continues to be a point of interest for both fans and critics alike. Delving deeper into the show's background, it's noteworthy to mention the connection to Hollywood excellence through the series' talent. The cousin of one of the key figures behind the show, Daniel Teradash, was a prominent name in Hollywood, having secured an Academy Award for his screenplay From Here to Eternity. This familial link to high-caliber writing perhaps influenced the show's creative direction and narrative depth. The educational background of the show's contributors also plays a role in its development. With a graduation from Canoga Park High in California, the class of 1979 saw individuals who would later contribute significantly to the entertainment industry, including this series. The educational environment of California, known for its proximity to the heart of the American entertainment industry, likely provided a unique perspective and set of experiences that were beneficial in the production of the show. Furthermore, the personal qualities of the actors and crew members contributed to the show's atmosphere. Known for portraying intimidating characters, one of the actors was actually recognized for his kindness and approachability, a trait that resonated well with colleagues. This amicable nature behind the scenes might have played a part in creating a positive and collaborative working environment, which is often reflected in the quality of the final product. Overall, these factors, a connection to acclaimed writing talent, an educational background immersed in a rich cultural environment, and the personal attributes of the cast and crew collectively shaped the show. They not only influenced its creative direction, but also impacted how the series was produced and perceived. The blend of these elements, combined with the show's imaginative storytelling and the constraints of its era, made it a memorable part of television history. Exploring the unique elements of the show, it's interesting to look at the personal lives and backgrounds of its cast and crew. They brought a special touch to the series. The actors and production team often lived in unusual places, like a custom-built house partly underground. This reflects the creative and unusual settings in the show. The show's connection with the local community is also important. For example, Joe Masak, an actor in the series, was deeply involved in his community, serving as the honorary sheriff of Tarzana, California, for 35 years. This shows the real-life commitment and heroism of the people who worked on the show, making their on-screen roles more authentic. There's also a fascinating historical connection within the crew. Some of them were related to Stephen F. Austin, an important figure in Texas history. This link to a historical figure shows the diverse and rich backgrounds of the people behind the show, which might have influenced its storytelling. The personal histories and community involvement of the cast and crew added a mix of experiences and views, making the creative process of the show richer. The series, with its adventurous and otherworldly stories, was influenced by these real-world connections and backgrounds. It offered a range of stories and characters as varied and interesting as the lives of those who created it. In short, the series was not just an interesting show on screen, but was also shaped by the fascinating personal stories and histories of its creators off-screen. These elements together made the show a memorable part of TV history. In making the TV series, the costumes were really important for bringing the characters to life. For Enik, a key character, the costume team faced a big challenge. They had to change a wet suit a lot to fit the actor Walker Edmiston, but these changes made the suit too tight. To fix this, they cut slits on the sides and hid them with a tunic. This clever solution shows the costume team's skill in making sure the actor could move and act comfortably. The series also shows the personal growth of its actors, like Wesley Eure. His career was shaped by major life changes and important relationships. He first wanted to be a lawyer, but after his dad died and their family business failed in the late 1950s economic downturn, he chose acting instead. Frances Reed, who worked with Eure on Days of Our Lives, had a big impact on his acting career. She became his mentor when he was 23, and their relationship lasted 36 years. They respected and admired each other a lot. Reed's death in 2010 was very hard for Eure, and he honored her by being a pallbearer at her funeral. Their relationship not only helped his career, but also shows how strong connections can be in the TV industry. These parts of the series, from smart costume design to the actors' powerful personal stories, add to our understanding of the show. They show how personal and work challenges were included in the series, making it special and memorable in TV history.